Hey people, it's Kelly at Print Praise Slay, and I am here with another video for Cookies and Christ. And in this episode, I'm going to go through my Bible study notes on Numbers 18 through 19. So this is my study Bible. You've seen it plenty of times on the channel. I did want to show you something. Like, I moved my blue tassel, so instead of having it in the portion of Numbers that talks about the blue tassel, right here in Numbers 15, in which the blue tassel is a reminder of the commandments that God set forth, instead of having it there, which talks about the tassel, I decided to put it in Exodus where the Ten Commandments is stated, which is Exodus 20. So my blue tassel is here. I wrote blue tassel. And then I wrote the reference to why the blue tassel is there, which is Numbers 15. So don't forget that these blue tassels are in the shop. They're very limited supply. So if you would love one, don't forget to check it out. But I'm going to get right into it. Let's see. Nope, that's 15. Here we go. All right. So we are in Numbers. We already did 17. So if we can recap real quick in 17, so that's when Aaron is basically set forth, and it's like legit that God has stated that Aaron is the man. Aaron is the high priest, okay? Without a shadow of a doubt, God made it plain and made a miracle with his staff budding. And so after that happens, there's a section in Numbers 18, which is titled as Support for the Priest and the Levites. So they're talking about how God gave these instructions to Aaron, saying that the holy offerings that people bring to Israel are also allotted as a portion for Aaron and the priest. There is also a offering that is allotted for the Levites. So the Levites serve the priests, and because of that, they are blessed as well. However, their compensation is not the same. Okay, it's not exactly the same as the priest. So they receive tithe. Okay, so I did highlight in here the beginning of 18:832. So the Lord gave these instructions to Aaron. And it says, I myself have put you in charge of all the holy offerings that are brought to me by the people of Israel. You are allotted the portion of the most holy offerings that is not burned on a fire. So I highlighted that, and then I jumped over into 14, and my note says, is what an honor. That's what my notes say. And it says, everything in Israel that is specifically set apart for the Lord also belongs to you. So I was like, wow. Okay. So I did highlight that as well. And then I jumped down to 19. In the middle of 19, it says, this is an eternal and unbreakable covenant between the Lord and you, and it also applies to your descendants. So an everlasting situation of a blessing. And that's when it starts to talk about the Levites. I did highlight 22. It says, and the Lord said to Aaron, you priests will receive no allotment of land or share of property among the people of Israel. I am your share and your allotment. And then as far as the tribe of Levites, your relatives, God is going to compensate them for their services in the tabernacle, and instead of an allotment of land, God is going to give them tithes from the entire land of Israel. All right, so from now on, no Israelite except for the priests and the Levites are allowed to approach the tabernacle. Of course, this happens, death. Okay, so they will die. And then we get into like the almost the end of 18 is talking about how the Lord also told Moses to give the instructions to Levites that when they receive from the people of Israel these tithes, they need to give a tenth of what they receive to the Lord as a sacred offering. So it's very similar to how we give a tenth to the church to support those who are supporting God. All right, so that's like a nice little tie-in to how this, like how we kind of come into the play and how we still keep this type of tradition. Some people, I believe I said this before, really don't believe in tithing, since it's in the Old Testament, and the New Testament in their eyes kind of trumps the Old Testament. However, it's like, if this is an organization that is helping in your community and helping your fellow Christian next to you, then you do want to patron them and help them out with funds. So even if it's not a tenth of your earnings, something would be appreciated. So although many people may think, oh, we're going to do away with that, still try to give if you can, if it is in your heart. If not, pray about that to see where God leads you with that. But a tenth is where the standard is. There's definitely people that go beyond that. And then, tithing with your time and your money and your talent is also, appreciated. But back into the text. So in 18, it does say, I highlighted here, 28, it says, you must present 1/10 of your tithes receiving to the Israelites as a sacred offering to the Lord. This is a sacred portion, but be sure to give the Lord your best offering. So I put here, give your best, and then I say, remember Cain in Genesis, not giving his best, or not giving out of the right heart, where Abel did, and God accepted Abel's offering and did not accept Cain. And then I further go down and I'm talking about Aaron's sons, because in my notes over here, it talks about Aaron's sons. The Bible does not do that. But in 32, it says, be careful not to treat the holy gifts. And these holy gifts are also considered like the tithes, like the gifts from people, as though they were common. All right. Common in the sense of, don't be disrespectful and misuse the offerings. Or, of course, the punishment usually said over and over, if you do, you will die. All right. So there's a high stake here to do the right thing with the tithes that people are giving to you. These are holy gifts that people are giving to you. And that same thing goes for people in the church. To sit there and misuse the funds of the church, or misuse people's times and talents that are gifted to you inside of the church, it's like, it's no. Okay. Doing that, no. The whole death thing, also can be seen as getting set away from God, like set apart from God, not holy, but like departing, like sinful type situation. So I thought that was really interesting, and how we can apply it, and how we can see that playing out in like how church administration goes. So those are my notes for 18. And in 19 was very, very special. I do have a Bible journaling spread for 19 as well. So 19 talks about the water of purification. So God says to Moses and Aaron that the legal requirement commanded by God is to tell the people of Israel to bring a red heifer. So a red heifer is a cow. It's a really pretty, like, copper looking cow. All right. I honestly didn't even know cows came in this copper looking. It was like black and white. The Chick-fil-A cow, that's it. That's all Kelly knew. But these red heifers are very, very beautiful. And then heifer was definitely a little term that like made me giggle a little bit, because it's been like a negative tone to heifer in like my community. So I was like, okay, but basically red cow, like copper cow. All right, and so they're supposed to give it to a priest. Okay, and so the priest is going to slaughter the cow, and then this water purification situation starts to happen. So the ceremony is to remove sin. That is what is stated in 19:9. Okay, the significance of all of this, like the sprinkling of the water on those who are defiled and to purify them and things like that. This whole situation is like a foreshadowing of Christ. And so in my Bible journaling, which I already posted the video of how I did the Bible journaling, I did show like the comparison of how this ceremony with the red heifer really relates to the sacrificial offering of the cow versus the Lord. All right, so Jesus on the cross, and how You know what? I'm gonna get my my journal. Boom. It just appeared, right? So this is my journaling Bible, and I already explained that I am starting to make kits along the way of my chronological studies instead of well, in addition to the kits that come to my heart based on topics. So in the middle of reading this, I was like, oh, I really, really, really want to journal this in my journaling Bible. So this was the staff, Aaron's staff. We already went through that in the last Cookies and Christ episode. So if you did not see that, check that out. And then here is Numbers 19. So it says the red heifer, and it says the ritual, like I said, foreshadows the purification offered through Jesus Christ. So this is a ceremony in which the purification really, really came from the death of the cow, and it provided this purity. And I said these little God winks are great memories in the Bible, and it's amazing to see how everything is purposeful and everything kind of ties together. And I just said, of course, God is awesome. So that is what is on here. However, in that kit, I have notes. Where can I put this? in the kit, I have notes, and I wrote these notes right here, like these 5 notes of like how they tie together. So the sacrificial offering and the purpose of cleansing and purification with death. That's 1. Spotless. So this red heifer had to be perfect. All right. And we all know the only perfect being that ever walked the earth is Jesus. So boom, they both have to be perfect. Purification through blood. All right. So the sacrifice of the cow and the heifer, the cow and Jesus. That the purification was, the spilling of their blood, and then eternal purification was offered through both. So since the water of purification was sprinkled on them, they will remain defiled, and that is in 1920. The same thing when you accept Christ, like you are saved. That is your sanctification. So you are, set apart and made whole, and that is through the acceptance of Jesus Christ. So I just thought it was really, really important that I made note of that in my study Bible and in my journaling Bible. In my study Bible, it is the notes that are here that really prompted me to research more about how the water purification ties into Jesus. And there is a lot of reference to him in the Old Testament, which is super neat because you see how this was God's plan all along, right? So I really enjoyed the read of 18 and 19. I hope you enjoy these short and sweet Bible studies as I'm going through the Bible chronologically with my patrons. They get these videos definitely ahead of time and all at once. And then I kind of chop it up and I deliver them on YouTube. So if you're ever interested in joining us over there, the link is down in the description. But I'm hoping that you all had a good time as well reading these 2 particular chapters, 18 and 19. And if you have any additional notes, I would love to know them as well. So just drop them in the comments. If you learned something new, definitely let me know. That is very encouraging to know that, if you don't know, I'm a teacher, but it's very encouraging as somebody that's sharing their study and sharing their notes to know that they were helpful to someone else. So if you find it in your heart, or if it's laid on your heart to do so, please let me know. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.